Hey everybody, we are going to begin. We're going to begin very shortly. Just waiting on Bob. Hey, thank you everyone for joining us here today. Really do appreciate you all taking your time out. So welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us as we get set for the return of Belfast's Carl Frampton and Mick Conlan, who co-headline a card this Saturday from London. Frampton will take on the Scottish veteran Darren Traynor, who stepped in last week, but he had been training throughout the pandemic, so he's in good shape. So there will be a 10-rounder at lightweight, while Mick will fight a recent world title challenger in Sofiane Takut in a featherweight bout. Before we get underway, a programming note. In the United States, ESPN will carry the Conlan and Frampton bouts beginning at 4 p.m. Eastern on regular linear ESPN, and we will have undercard action on ESPN Plus beginning at 2:30 Eastern. In the UK, BT Sport 2 will carry all the action across the pond, and word just came in from ESPN that in addition to the Conlan and Frampton bouts in the United States, ESPN at 4 p.m. Eastern will also carry the Archie Sharp Jeff Ofori fight for the WBO European 130-pound title. And that will kick off the broadcast. Then it'll go on to the Mick Conlan fight, and then Carl Frampton will close the show. We have Mick Conlan here on the line with us now, but before we open it up to questions for him, I'd like to turn it over to the chairman of Top Rank, Mr. Bob Arum. Bob,
how you guys doing? Sorry, the stream's a little
Hello,
bootleg.
everybody, and hello, Mick. Be good to see you in a few minutes. We're very delighted to be able to do this event and show it on regular ESPN. We'll have a vast audience on Saturday afternoon to showcase both Carl and Mick. So I'm very excited. Obviously, this is not the way we would like to do things, but the coronavirus is too tough for us. And we have a president in this country who's screwed everything up. So unfortunately, we're in a position now where this is the best we can do. But hopefully before long, we'll have you, Mick, and Carl over across the pond showing everybody your great skills. But I guess this is going to have to do for now.
That's it, Bob. It's going to have to do. It'll do. And can't wait to get back over. But first, we get the job to do Saturday.
And before we get over to Mick Conlan, I want to introduce his older and better looking brother, the vice president of MTK Global, Jamie Conlan.
How's it going, Evan? All good. Looking forward to a big night Saturday night for both MTK fighters, both Belfast fighters, Carl Frampton and Michael Conlan. I believe it's the awakening of Michael this year. It's a new and improved Michael with the lockdown. He's
Busy week.
Pandemic, a new man. Carl Frampton on the verge of the biggest fight in his life in Jamal Herring, and this is the first we get to see of the lads in 2020.
Thank you, Jamie. And anybody who wants to ask a question, either use the raise hand function on your Zoom, or if you cannot find that, just privately message me and I will unmute you when the time comes. So first, we are going to start with Jake Donovan from Boxing Scene once he figures out how to unmute his button.
How you guys doing, though? I got a busy week. It's going to be a lot of Zoom calls on the channel. This is actually a double Zoom call. We're going to have the Showtime card with David Benavidez and all them.
Jake, you there?
After this.
I am here.
You're the leadoff hitter, Jake. Kick it off.
I'm used to being cleaned up. So thanks, Michael, thank you very much for this opportunity to interview. Just how it feels, just to take the lead and doing this fight, in a crowdless environment.
I'm really excited about it, Jake. This is something that I've been wanting to do, and something that's kind of really excited me. The fact that it's going to be a challenge, something different, something that I haven't experienced as a professional, boxing in an arena 101 there. It's exciting me to hear those winces and the panting of the breath, everything about it. It's something that is really lit a little spark of me in training camp. I've been sparring no music on, burning anybody in the gym, and I just love it. I love every minute of it. That silence in the ring and that alone time with an opponent is nice.
Okay, very cool. So obviously some big news with you. You were in position to challenge for a featherweight title at one point. Then your team made the decision where you're going to be challenging at junior featherweight. I just wanted to know how that decision came about for you.
Well, if you were up to date on everything before the Keaton fight, I was already speaking about going to 122, and that was the talk. I was going to go to 122, but obviously Keaton wasn't going to fight at 122, so I was happy to stay at 126 for that. And then it looked like I could be staying there, and then I've come out of this pandemic. later than I've ever been. I think it's just hit the reset button on me, myself, and kind of refocus myself. So I came out really late, close enough to I can make 122 tomorrow if I really needed to. So that's why the decision was made. It was already talk about it, but with out of the pandemic, much more realistic chance of doing 122 with ease.
Gotcha. And then, pardon my ignorance. Is this fight going to be at 122, or are you going to stay 126?
No, it's going to be 126 for the simple reason the fight was kind of already in place during the pandemic, and they made it They actually made it started off at 130, and then I came back and checked my weightings, and I was like, I can do 126 tomorrow. So can we make it a 125? He says no, he can beat the latest he can do is 126. So I says no problem. We'll face the Kush 126, and then after that we'll make a move.
Okay, very cool. And then, assuming all goes well on Saturday, I know you're not the type to look past an opponent. How soon would you like to emerge into the title picture?
Next fight. I would love it in my next fight. I know, it may not be possible with the way things lie with the WBO, but 100%, I'd be happy to challenge for the WBO title next.
Okay, very cool. Thanks so much, Michael.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jake. And we kick it off next to Carlos Toro from Piper.
Hey, Michael. Thanks so much for taking time to talk to us. Obviously, the whole pandemic has definitely shifted around a lot of plans involving you and, a lot of fighters in general. But I just wanted to just ask, how difficult has it been just kind of have to wait for so long to kind of get, just to get an idea of when you're going to be fighting, and just in general, just the general feeling of, you want your next fight to be a title fight, but obviously with how unpredictable things how do you kind of just cope with the uncertainty that the sport is in right now because of the pandemic?
Yeah, well, listen, all of that's out of my control, and I can't control it. A global pandemic is something that I couldn't stop. Nobody could stop. God couldn't even stop it. So there was no point in me getting caught up about it. Worrying about what is next, I'm worrying about when I'm going to box next is not really something that came into my mind when people were apparently dying all around the world. So, it didn't bother me. In fact, the pandemic made me much better. I'm a much better fighter, I think. A much better human being. I'm a much better, happier person. It done me really good. I got to be. It was the longest I was home with my family since I was, 17 years of age. Longest I've been around my kids since they've both been born, and it kind of just reset everything for me and made me kind of realize where I want to go in the sport, what I want to achieve, and how realistic it is and how close it is. I just got to stay focused and get there. So, if the world title is next, I would hope it to be the fight after. If it's not that, who knows? And it's not my control to even say so. So, whenever it happens, it'll happen. But I know it'll happen. So, time doesn't wait, and I don't wait either. But if I have to wait an extra few months to get a shot, no problem.
Lastly, what's been one thing that you've kind of had to change in preparation for this fight, as far as getting, not just working in the gym, but also just the general fight week feeling that you've gone through plenty of fight weeks, but I'm sure this one must be a little bit different with everything that's been going on, all the changes that's been happening.
If I'm honest, it's the most relaxed and chilled fight week I've ever had. It's been fantastic. Usually we have, the hoopla, the hyperbole, everybody around, everybody looking at interviews, having to go here and there to the interviews. But, it's been chilled at the hotel, chilled out with the team, having fun. This time I actually brought my PlayStation and playing some Call of Duty. And it's been great. I've had fun. So, I'm in a really good place. Come this fight. It's the best I've ever felt, and I'm excited for Saturday.
Well, I'm glad you've been able to find time to relax. Best of luck this weekend in your fight.
Thank you, brother.
Next up, J.R. Bell. Go ahead, J.R.
All right there, Marco. On March 12th, you were at the theater at Madison Square Garden, and you were about to prepare for a main event there at the theater at Madison Square Garden. But unfortunately, it had to be, basically canceled. So how does it feel to, finally be ready for an actual fight and stepping into the ring on Saturday?
Yeah, it's fantastic. Actually, the only game I've kind of had any worries in this camp was was when I got tested yesterday. I was like, I hope it doesn't come back, positive, and my feet gets full, but it's not. It's come back perfect. So the fight's on, but it's nice to have a fight here, and I've been with it a long time. The last time I boxed was December 14, so it's been it's the longest I've been out of the ring as a professional fighter, and it's been nice, but it's time to get back to work, and I'm really excited.
Now, seeing as you were a top contender at 126, but now you made the announcement to go down to 122. How do you feel about competing there at the 122-pound division and potentially fighting for a world title there at 122?
I'm very confident. I think I'll be a huge 122 and a problem for everybody and anybody. And I do believe I'll be world champion at 122 first.
Gotcha. Thank you very much, there, Michael.
Thank you, bro. Take care.
Thank you, JR. And next we have Boxing UK. You ready?
Hi, Michael. It's Steve from Boxing UK.
Hey, Steve. What's happening, mate?
Hello, mate. Just a couple, Michael. The last time you were out at Madison Square Garden in front of thousands of fans, it was quite an occasion. Yeah. What's your mindset for this weekend? There's going to be nobody there except your nearest and dearest.
Yeah, listen, it's exciting me. The fact that it's different. I've experienced it. I have experienced it. I mean, not in the professional ranks, but I've experienced it in major fights around the world as an amateur. When you're boxing at the highest level in the amateurs, you're fighting the best guys in the world in front of 7 people, and it's probably in some country like Lithuania where no one knows you, no one's even there for you. So it's no problem. I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to experiencing it as a pro, and it is something different, but something that I think I'll excel in. Good, man.
And the fight itself, us UK fans will obviously know Safin Takouche for the Warrington fight.
Yeah.
Is there any pressure on you that people will obviously look to match Warrington's performance, or are you just focused on your own game plan?
We're both completely different fighters in terms of styles. And then at the same time, Warrington is coming off, 3 great wins against Galahad, Frampton and Selby. And, his confidence is sky high. Takouche come into that fight and unknown, really, in front of 20,000 people with no fans there himself.
He's going to be here like
under
2
a lot
hours,
of pressure and get blew to the water. So I don't really take anything from that fight. I don't think that was the best Sophie and Takouche you'll see, because I think he was a deer in the headlights. You know what them crazy Leeds fans are like, and how they kind of like take the solo away from some people. And I think Takouche was one of those type of people who folded under that type of pressure. So he's got to come in here. He's going to come in here on Saturday night. Much more experience than me as a professional. Much more fights than me. The same amount of stoppage wins that I have fights. So he's going to be coming in confident. No crowd there to scare him or kind of get his back up. So I think he's going to be confident. He don't believe he can win this. This is a chance for him to get his career back on track. But I believe me being a younger man, definitely more amateur experience and definitely more pedigree, I believe. And I just think I'm an all-round better fighter. So I think he won't last me in there.
Good, man. We're looking forward to it, Michael. Best of luck on.
Thank you, bro.
Before we get to Crystal, if anybody else wants to ask questions, you can, again, use the raise hand function. Crystal, you're up.
Mick, can you hear me?
Hey, Crystal.
Oh, hey, as you would say, your biggest fan, the last time we were together, Mikey Williams took our picture, and before you knew it, St. Patrick's Day was canceled, and what happened from there? Could you do a little walkthrough? Did you go back to Ireland? Were you able to train there? And I take it that right now you're in London.
She looks like a crazy cat lady, but she's a really nice woman. I met her like multiple times.
And had some nice pizza and cannolis in Italy, and just enjoyed ourselves. I was in New York, so I may as well enjoy the great food which they have there. And then after that, I went home, started to bake, started to eat loads of food. Was non-stop baking cakes and eating cakes and drinking tea. But obviously, you get bored of that very quick, and everything.
Yeah, she's super nice. She's always in like the Barclays and New York fights.
Training, do different types of training, half marathons, 50K cycles, a lot of different types of stuff, and kind of just found the love again for the sport and found love again for just exercise and training. So it was really good. The pandemic was good.
Were the gyms open? Were you able to train, or was everything closed?
I have a gym in my garage, so everything was okay. I had a gym in my garage. My father is the national boxing coach of Ireland, and he was able to come and do some training with me, so it was okay.
And do I take it, is your opponent a southpaw? And,
Yes.
Are you? How'd you prepare for that? Is it?
Yeah, I had every spar I had was against southpaws, and they prepared very, very well. Great work. I want to thank all my spawn partners. They done a great job of replicating what is going to be in front of me, and I'm excited for Saturday.
Well, good seeing you.
You too. Take care.
And now we turn over to David Mohan from the Belfast News. David, go ahead.
How you doing, Mick? You all right,
Right, I'm not talking to him.
It's kind of been asked already, but it's like a follow-on. Say this week, and a normal fight week, you have all the different things that go on and different things to do.
We're
it's
on
a bit more relaxed.
Zoom calls.
Will be more of a relaxed performance for me off the back of this, or are you looking to go out and make a massive statement?
Watching the other one on my iPad.
Mate. I'll decide when I get in there. I'll decide after the first 30 seconds what way I'm going to approach it. I have little plans in my head which I'm going to do, and I think you'll see a different me anyway. I think you'll see a definitely an exciting fight. You'll see a bit more aggression probably. But we'll see Saturday. I can't say too much.
Obviously, Adam has you boxing the orders anyway, but you're a great man of actually kind of learning on the fly in the first 30 seconds where to go orthodox or southpaw, and that's probably something you'll figure out yourself in the initial stages.
Once I get in there, I'll decide whether it's going to be a southpaw fight or an orthodox fight for me. But we've been drilling an awful lot of things in training, and I believe I'll make them show it on Saturday.
Obviously, you mentioned it down to 122, and you make featherweight comfortably. Do you think going down to 122 with a big win on Saturday is a hell of a warning to the other super bantamweights?
Yeah, I think so. I'd be very confident in facing any of them now, and if that was the case, it'd be no problem. But we'll get this one out of the way on Saturday, and then 123 here I come.
Thank you, David. Next up, only got a couple more for Mick, and then he's got to run. So Sean Zattel from Fight Hype, you're up.
Hey, Michael. Thanks for giving me some time.
Big Sean
taking on a guy who just fought Josh Warrington in his last fight. Are you looking at trying to equal or surpass what Warrington was able to do?
No, listen, it's different situations. Warrington was coming off 3 great wins against 3 really top-class opponents, and he faced Mick, who was relatively unknown in his own backyard in front of 20,000 of his own fans, and I think Mick froze in front of the headlights. So I would be stupid and reckless if I was to go in and try and blast the shit out like Warrington did. But I definitely will be going in and make a statement and doing it my own way. I don't need to live up to anybody's expectations or equal myself with Josh Warrington, because that's not who I am. I'm Michael Conlan, and I wouldn't do my job.
Do you think after this fight, you would like to fight Josh Warrington? I know you're kind of on his home turf right now in England already, but do you like that fight?
Well, I'm going to 122, so listen, if I was staying at 126, I love that fight, and in the future, I want that fight 100 million %. But 122 is what's next for me. And Josh Warrington, look, he looks like he's staying at 126, possibly moving up to 130. But I do believe we'll cross paths.
Yeah, and just lastly, with Tyson Fury being the heavyweight champion of the world, we know he's from England and we know he's the Gypsy King, but do you think Ireland takes any stake in the fact that he's champion too? Because Tyson will talk about how he's Irish as well.
Well, he has got Irish descent, but listen, Tyson's
I like Fight Hype. They've come a long way, in my opinion, from being Floyd Hype.
If he wants to claim some Irishness and give some Irishness a part of the heavyweight champ, I'm sure Ireland will be happy to take it.
And also, do you want the title fight next? Is that after this fight? Is that the last level that there is to go? There is no more fighting a top 5, top 10 contender.
I'm on the other Zoom call, by the way. We're going to be going over directly after this one.
I would love the title fight next, but if it's not possible, we got to fight top 5. So that's
for
just
the
the way it's got to
card.
be. And I'm happy either way. I have a great team around me, and AMPK and Top Rank. Bob and all the guys, they look after me so well. And they've managed my career and moved my career fantastically.
Let's see if Bob is still
whatever
here.
it is next, I'm ready to go. Whether it's a world title or whether it's an eliminator, whatever it is, I'm ready to rock.
Thanks so much, Michael. Good luck Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, Michael. Thank you, Jamie. I see you're in the gym, so let's let you get back to it.
See you later. I'm a beast.
See you on Saturday night, right, Mick?
See you later. See you later, Evan. Take care.
And Carl should be joining us in one moment.
I got to get an avatar. I'm kind of new to Zoom. You know, how have you guys been? We're going to be here for a couple of hours because the Showtime Zoom is going on right now as well. So what I'm doing
looks like we have Carl Frampton on the line here.
I got to learn how
Carl,
to do
before
two
we
Zooms at
take
the
it
same
up,
time.
if anybody wants to ask Carl a question, again, use the raise hand mechanism on your Zoom device. Before we get started with questions, Carl, you came in with an opponent who accepted the fight on 9 days. So did that throw you for a little bit of a loop? And now you're taking a temporary stop at lightweight for this fight. So can you talk about both of those factors as you lead into Saturday night?
Yeah. So obviously it was a bit of a disaster, the whole lead up regarding opponents. I think that one thing I will have to say is I have to give MTK credit. They kind of not foreseeing that there was going to be an issue, but they assumed that there could have been because of the current situation that the whole world is facing. It turned out Corona didn't affect anything, but the issue was visa problems for Vardanyan, the original opponent. So I think trainer has been being paid by MTK to train for the last sort of 4 or 5 weeks on the chance that this fight may have came about. So trainer has been training for me for 5 weeks. I've been training for him for 1 week. And obviously it's at 135 as well. So these things kind of even the playing.
We're gonna be here for a couple hours, so we're gonna be talking.
You know, I still fancy to
y'all cool though?
do a number on this guy.
Now, for our first question, we kick things off to Jake Donovan. Jake, go ahead.
And there's a card on too, John O'Cara. I'm going to be covering that on in a half hour.
Carl, thank you very much for joining the call. I did want to ask. You mentioned that you're going to be fighting this fight at lightweight. I think you mentioned earlier in the week that you haven't even had the chance to really fight as a junior lightweight. So how has that affected you, if at all, like in training, like wanting to prepare for a new division and actually having to prepare for heavier weight?
Well, it hasn't really affected me. To be honest, I've kind of enjoyed this fight week more than any other because
this is the end of the call, by the way. And then we head over to the Showtime joint.
Kind of 10-minute
so Carl was last
session on the pads yesterday. But that was it. It was just a sharpener. I didn't have to train. I'm like right now I'm 3 pounds over lightweight, so restrict a little bit of food tomorrow, and I should wake up at 135. The thing is, I think the trainer sees this weight. I think he probably could have got down a little bit more than 135, but he thinks that this gives him an advantage. But although I'm short in stature, I walk around at like 150, 148 anyway. So it's probably doing me a favor as well.
I met Carl Frampton in Philly and got his autograph, and I never get fighters'
and then,
autographs.
I know there's been a lot of talk about you fighting Heron.
Excited.
You guys even had like a virtual press conference with Christina Poncher about it. Just with all the craziness in this year, like just like what have you been able to do, like just to kind of focus on keeping your career on track while also ensuring that fight will happen for you?
Well, look, it's I've had the last few years. There's been a fair bit of turmoil and things have been up and down, and I haven't been the luckiest fighter in the world, and neither has Jamel. But what's going on with boxing at the minute and the current, the pandemic that's going on all around the world, it's affecting us all. So it's not just affecting me. So I just have to see it for how it is.
I think Bob rolling
deal
up
with it. Everybody else is in
Let's
the
see
same
what he's
boat.
doing.
They all seem to be dealing with it. So that's my outlook.
Think he hides a kite?
Okay. And then I'm sure you had a chance to watch all the ESPN fights that have come back, taking place in the bubble. What's been your take on watching these guys fight, without a crowd? And like, have you even envisioned what it's going to be like for you this Saturday?
It's been. I think the shows have been good. I suppose that Top Rank and ESPN were the first guys to come back, and the shows were of good quality. I like the fact that you can hear the noise of the shots a little bit more, and you can hear a bit of communication between the corners to the fighters, and even sometimes fighters talking to each other, which is interesting. It's things that you don't normally see on TV.
He look a little stoned.
So I've liked it. I'm a boxing fan, and I've enjoyed watching it. And I suppose it's important to keep putting these fights on and make sure boxing stays relevant and just doesn't disappear because of what's going on.
I don't know. Look a little stoned
Thank
to
you,
me.
Jake. Appreciate it. Next, we go up to Damien Spellman from PA News Media Group. Damien, go ahead.
Thank you. Hi, Carl.
How you doing?
Good, thanks. Good, thanks. Carl, you mentioned Jamel Herring there. Is that plan still in the offing somewhere? Will that be resurrected at some point, do you think?
Yeah, look, yeah, I think so. That's the fight that I want. I suppose that we kind of had a date agreed. June 13th was the proposed date, and I think everything was pretty much set to go, and the fight was going to happen. And I suppose there was a chance with it kind of falling away a little bit that he wouldn't be as keen anymore, or maybe Top Rank wouldn't be as keen to make the fight, or the governing body. But everyone seems on board. I want the fight. Jamel wants it. Top Rank and Bob Arum want it. So I think that is the plan, to have that fight next.
Sure. And you mentioned there how much frustration you've had in the last few years, postponements and injuries and what have you. Have you ever thought, I don't need this, I don't need the hassle, it's time to hang the gloves up, or is just that, does that burn in you still so strongly?
Well, after the Josh Warrington defeat, I in my head I was retired. I was going to retire. I hadn't announced retirement, but I just thought, I suppose I was not embarrassed, but my pride was hurt a little bit. And then when I sat down over the new year, because it was just before Christmas, and I kind of reflected on the fight, and I knew that it was more down to a bad performance from me, and me tactically getting it very wrong and tactically making wrong decisions in the first 3 rounds. That was the reason I lost that fight, more so than me being over the hill or on the slide, because if you see what I'm doing in the gym still, you wouldn't suggest that I'm over the hill that some people are doing at the minute. So I know that I'm a better fighter than the Warrington performance, and there's a lot of stuff that's going on, that the break of the hands and stuff and other things, and coronavirus too. So I haven't thought about that again since the Warrington fight. I want to win a world title, and that's the drive.
Brilliant.
I'd say something. Yeah.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it. We gotta get rolling. And before we get to Sean, now that we have Bob on the call, and Damon mentioned the Jamel Herring fight. Obviously, it was originally scheduled for June, but everything that's happened has pushed it back. Bob, what are your thoughts in terms of the logistics of getting a Frampton Herring fight done? Should both Carl be victorious on Saturday and Jamel victorious in September?
Jamel Herring will defend his title against Oquendo. Finally, we'll get that off. We had 2 postponements because of this coronavirus. But that fight will happen September 5. And if Jamel is successful, and if Carl is successful on Saturday, I have a date picked out in November where they'll fight for the title. That's done. I mean, everybody's on board. One thing I can't control is the virus, but I mean, we're going to do that fight in November. Virus. It may very well be another bubble fight. In other words, with no fans. I know we'll have to get Carl over to the States to do it. But you can count, both guys win these interim fights. You can count on a world title fight between Herring and Frampton in November.
Exactly what I wanted to hear. Thanks, Bob.
Yeah, no, music to all of our ears. And now, on that note, we kick it off to Sean Zattel. Sean, you're up.
What's up, Carl?
How you doing?
Good. Against Darren Trainer, I know you said you fancy yourself to do quite the job on him. We know you got great skills. Are you trying to just showcase all the tools against him, just put on that kind of performance, or are you going in there with a game plan to to build on things that you feel you'll need to do heading into a herring fight?
No, not really. People have asked me this question, you know, do I want rounds and stuff? And look, whatever happens in the fight. If I get the opportunity to take this guy out in, say, the first 30 seconds, I will do that. So I don't need rounds at this stage of my career. I've fought plenty of rounds. I know how to fight. I just need to win this fight and then focus on the Jamel Herring fight.
And then also, I'd be remiss not asking, of course, about Santa Cruz. You know, it's not in the cards now. There's a huge fight with Herring on the horizon, but he did promise you to your face after that great rematch that you one day would do the third fight, and then we saw what happened. Do you think that you even still want that fight before you retire? And does he have any chance against Tank Davis to pull that off?
He's going to like it.
Well, I don't see the fight ever happening. I think Leo did promise that, but I think, to be honest, I think he's full of shit. It's just, you know, the fight could have happened if he wanted it to happen, but it never has, and it's a shame. Regarding the Tank Davis fight, I just don't see a way he can beat Davis. What's interesting and strange at the same time is that the fight is for world titles in 2 different divisions. It's almost like it's set up for Tank to miss 130 and still have a 135 title on the line. But I watched him on the Wilder Ortiz undercard, Santa Cruz, and I don't think he didn't look like the fighter that he once was, and I just can't see a way that he beats Tank.
Yeah, but if because it looked like he had his best fight in the 2 fights he had with you, especially that rematch. You think even if he can come in at the level he did in that rematch with you, or use his length and all those things, maybe he could pull it off at?
Well, potentially, and I think the more the fight goes on, the better chance he has. But I just it's hard for me to see a winner other than Davis here.
Thank you, Sean. Now we kick it off to JR Bell. JR, go ahead.
Greetings there, Carl. First question. Seeing as you were, you know, walking around at 148, and now, you know, coming down to 135, like, how is it just going down to just about, you know, 13 pounds instead of the 130 for this particular fight?
It's been okay. I've kind of, so for the last sort of week, I was unsure if it was going to be at 130 or 135 this fight. So all I've done was increase my food intake a little bit more in fight week, more so than normal. I won't have to do a sweat to dilute. I won't have to do any hot baths or anything like that. So it's been, fight week has been enjoyable. Probably the most enjoyable fight week that I've had, if I'm being honest.
Gotcha. Now, you have this upcoming fight against Jamel Herring for the WBO super featherweight title, and he's, you know, a tall, lanky guy. So how do you feel like going up against a guy with that type of height and that type of reach?
Yeah, look, Jamel's a very good fighter. He's a much better fighter than Taylor McCreary, who I fought in my last fight. But I out-jabbed Taylor McCreary with 2 broken hands. I feel like that, although, you know, in terms of stature, he's a much bigger specimen than me, Jamel, but he's got to be killing himself to do the weight. And I know that he says he doesn't, but he constantly talks about his weight. And someone who constantly talks about his weight, in my opinion, is someone who has issues with it. He's just a physical specimen. It can't be easy for him to make 130. So I can use all these things and use them to my advantage. But there's different ways to skin a cat. You know, I have good distance control.
Skin a cat.
I have a good jab. I feel like a better feet than Jamel, and I feel like my hands are faster as well. So it's a very, very tough fight, but one I believe I can win.
Thank you, JR. Now we go to Boxing UK. You're up.
Hi, Carl. It's Steve from Boxing UK.
How you doing?
Hello, mate.
UK people always like
Carl,
little
you've
microphones.
had a pretty turbulent year and a half, if truth be told, with ornaments and opponent changes.
Yeah.
Are you straining at the leash?
Well, look, it has been frustrating, but I like to think that I'm a relaxed enough type of character, and I always believed that I was going to get a fight, even though 2 weeks ago things were up in the air as to what was going on. But I knew that Top Rank and and Frank and MTK would have sorted something out. So it was a little bit frustrating, but I'm okay and I'm over it.
Good man. We've just heard Bob say about the Heron fight in November. From your perspective, Carl, is that almost like now a pinnacle, or are you looking, if you get past Heron, that you'll be looking for rematches? Or I saw Shaka Stevenson calling you out last week. Are you hoping to go on a long run as a champion again?
Well, it's one fight at a time at this stage of my career. So I have Darren Trainer to deal with first, and then I can focus on Jamel Herring. And if I beat Jamel Herring, then I'll make a decision as to where I go after that. But it would be nice to unify a second division, wouldn't it? So the options will be there, I'm sure, but I'll make a decision after the Jamel Herring fight.
Good man. And last one, more of a UK one. Just your thoughts on the Eddie and Frank get together?
I think it's good for boxing. It's good for boxing in the UK. Good for, I suppose, boxing globally as well. But proof is in the pudding. Hopefully they can get some of the top stars of both stables together to make the fights. But it seems the initial chat between Frank and Eddie seemed positive. So hopefully we can see some cross promotional fights taking place.
Good man. Best luck at the weekend, Carl. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. But before we go, Carl, any final thoughts you want to share with everybody as you get ready for Saturday night?
No, just look forward. I think it's going to be a good performance. If my last spar is anything to go by, then I think I win this fight convincingly. My last spar, I feel like, was the best I've sparred since I've been with Jamie Moore and Nigel Travis. And I'm just looking forward to put on a show. My ring walk tune as well is an unbelievable tune. Keep an eye on that as well.
Well, thank you, Carl. We'll let you get to it, and we'll close the call with a final comment from Bob Arum. Bob, any final thoughts you'd like to share with everybody?
We're going to head over to the
I'm
Showtime
delighted
Zoom
that
now.
ESPN will be televising this event and showing it on ESPN's main channel. It's 4 p.m. in New York. I'm here in LA, and it's 1 p.m. in LA. So I'll be outside with my outside television set with a big Cuban cigar, and I'll be enjoying the festivities. And good luck to Mick and to Carl. I'm sure they'll come through. I'm looking forward to having them over here in the States in October, November. We're doing one fight show a week for the foreseeable future. And so we need the English and Irish reinforcements to come over here and help fill our cards. And big things in store for both Carl and Mick this year.
It's going to be
hopefully both will be
cigars.
fighting for world titles.
Can I just say one thing, Evan? I'd like to thank Top Rank, Bob, and MTK and Frank as well, just for giving me these opportunities. And I hope I don't disappoint at the weekend. I'm sure I'll win the fight, and the fight with me and Jamel Herring will be a dream come true.
Well, I think that is the perfect place to end this call. So thank you, Bob. Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Mick, for joining us today. And thank you, everybody who asked questions and who joined us on the call. And we will see you Saturday night on ESPN Regular, not Plus, at 4 o'clock. Plus starts at 2:30 Eastern, ESPN Linear at 4 o'clock. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Thank you.
But you have the edge in experience. 115 pro rounds versus your opponent. Do you think that will be a help for you on Saturday?
Tú tienes más experiencia que Rolando, teniendo 115 peleas, rounds con profesionales. ¿Tú crees que eso te va a ayudar en la
This is the Showtime call now, live. For the Benavidez and Angulo. Hold on, let me look at the lineup real quick. Hold on. So Angulo's next. Travis Kaufman, Jackson Marinez went already. Next is Alexa Angulo, Otto Wallin, Rolando Romero, and then David Benavidez. So we came just in time. I got court in the morning. They sent me a email for my court hearing just about not even 3 hours ago. It's like, how you send me 24-hour notice, less than 24-hour notice for, but anyway, shit is like hitting the fan. So yeah, what are we gonna talk about while we're here? We can talk. We're waiting for Angulo. So this is live. I'm guessing they're waiting. So here is the schedule for the call. See if we can zoom in for you.
Okay, we are ready to hear from Alexis Angulo.
So Angulo, Wallin is next.
Alexis is 26 wins, 1 loss with 22 knockouts coming out of Colombia. Alexis has fought in many countries throughout his career. One of the interesting notes we have is out of 27 fights so far, just 5 have been in his home country. He's fought in 9 different countries, interestingly. There are currently no world titleists from Colombia, and he's going to challenge in our main event one of the brightest stars in the sport today, David Benavidez. Alexis, welcome.
Bienvenido.
We have Sammy as well available to translate for us. We're going to take a few questions from the press. I'd like to first ask you about your preparations for this fight. It was originally scheduled for April. And of course, with the shutdown and delays, here we are in cross country in Connecticut and ready to execute in front of no fans. How much anticipation do you have for this fight on Saturday night?
Primero la pelea tenía que ser en abril y después con todo esto cambió
I like this
hoy,
setup.
en agosto. ¿Cuánta anticipación tienes por esta pelea?
Bueno, creo que el cambio que hubo de abril a esta fecha ha sido muy bueno. He tenido tiempo para concentrarme más en mi entrenamiento, para preparar un poco más, por decirlo así, el modo como debo combatir. También me he preparado mejor espiritualmente, emocionalmente, y pues creo que es la mejor fecha que puede haber para un combate de esta magnitud.
He said that the change has helped him tremendously. He's been able to not just physically, but spiritually and emotionally, he's prepared better. And that he feels that this is the best date and it's the best thing that could have happened to him.
Okay, terrific. We're going to open up to questions, and I'm going to start with Marco Perez from Boxeo de Colombia. Marco, I'm going to ask Sammy to translate your question before we get the answer from Alexis, if that's okay.
Okay,
Please
perfect.
go ahead.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Alexis, buenas tardes, ¿cómo estás?
I think Maris will get better.
Te veo bien, te veo
like Tim
concentrado.
Bradley was. He was whack when he first started.
Una de las primeras preguntas es
And I always liked Abner
el
Maris.
equipo Benavidez, unas par de
But
semanas.
I think he did good. You
Ya da
know, he
por
just got to get
anticipado
used to
que
it.
te va a noquear en el séptimo asalto, hasta que colocaron hasta un asalto, pensando en una pelea de Canelo. ¿Cómo tú vives ese momento si todavía no han pasado por tu pelea antes de pensar en esa pelea millonaria supuesta con Canelo Álvarez?
Pues hombre, eso es lo que piensa el equipo de Benavidez. Son libres de pensar lo que ellos quieran. Más sin embargo, lo que va a pasar el sábado, pues eso solamente lo sabe Dios. Entonces, pues toca esperar a ver qué pasa el sábado.
Así que traduzca el señor. Yeah, you can do it in English.
Yes, they asked him how
Yeah, we're gonna be here like another hour
feel
and a half.
knowing
Yeah.
that David Benavidez in a way is looking past them and is already speaking about the big fight with Canelo Alvarez, and also that how does he feel saying that the team has said that they'll knock him out no later than the 7th round. Angulo responded by saying that it's just his opinion, and that really all that matters is what's going to happen Saturday night, and that he'll show him differently.
Así es. Y otra pregunta. La gente no sabe realmente, Angulo, que tú después de esa pelea que se canceló, la primera, tú nunca paraste de entrenar y venías entrenando aquí en Estados Unidos, porque fuiste uno de los primeros que llegaste a Estados Unidos como boxeador para este enfrentamiento con Benavidez. ¿Eso para ti va a ser una arma fundamental por todo el tiempo entrenando a esta pelea? Si quieres, contesta primero, haz la traducción y después él contesta.
They asked him, not too many people know this, but that he actually hasn't stopped training since the postponement of the date, and they asked him how would that benefit him going into this fight.
Ahora sigue, Angulo.
Por supuesto, llegué en una buena fecha aquí a los Estados Unidos a concentrarme para esta preparación, para esta pelea. Y repito una vez más, pues esta pandemia quizás muchas personas las ha afectado de una manera u otra, pues directamente en lo personal opino que ha sido todo lo contrario. Me siento muy agradecido con Dios y pues también gracias a la pandemia he tenido más tiempo para concentrarme más en mi pelea, para entrenar, trabajar y pues bueno, así poder tener un resultado positivo a mi favor este sábado 15 de agosto ante el campeón mundial Benavidez.
There's a
yes,
card
he said
on right
that
now.
he knows that understands that
If
the
not
coronavirus
now, in the
has
next
affected
hour.
many people negatively, but for him it's been the opposite. It's given him a lot more time to train. He's been training in the U.S. Ever since the postponement date. He hasn't left, and that all that's going to help him get a positive result this Saturday against the world champion David Benavidez.
Gracias, Senor Perez, for those questions. We're going to go now to Norm Fraunheim. Norm, you'll have to unmute your line, and then you can go ahead.
It's 2020.
Norm,
I wouldn't be
hear
shocked
me,
if he
the,
beats David Benavidez.
Unmute button in the lower left-hand corner, and you can go ahead.
Where's my mute button? Where is my shit at?
All right, we're going to go ahead now to our next question. Norm, we'll come back to you if we can. Andres Gomez. Andres?
Good afternoon, guys. Once again, good afternoon, Angulo. I wanted to know, you coming off such an impressive, big upset victory over Anthony Sims Jr., how does that play into your confidence going into this title match?
Tú estás viniendo de una victoria grande contra Anthony Sims Jr. ¿Cómo eso te va a ayudar mentalmente con esta pelea de sábado?
Pues pienso que esa fue una buena pelea. Digamos que lo tomaré como una preparación para esta pelea, pero pues no se puede comparar, ¿no? Ya que Sims Jr. tiene muy buenas condiciones y es un excelente boxeador, pero pues digamos que sin sinónimo de ofender o de minimizar a Sim, digamos que son niveles distintos y en lo personal pienso que Benavidez está en un nivel más alto, en un nivel mucho mejor y allá es donde quiero estar y voy a estar.
He says, with all due respect, the fighter previously, he's a good fighter, good skill, but that Benavidez is on another level.
So that's 3 p.m. over here, about another hour and 6 minutes or so.
He understands that
so the main event's like 5. Look at the clock at the top of the screen. That's my time.
He feels that the fight with Benavidez is going to show that he's supposed to be in the level of Benavidez, and that's what he wants to prove Saturday night.
Right. Now you mentioned two different levels. I would say it's more like two different styles where Sims is more of a boxer and Benavidez comes forward. Do you feel that style of Benavidez plays to your favor,
Why
to
is
your
this Zoom
advantage, or is it
different? Oh,
something
there it
that,
is.
that you're
Raise
gonna have to
hand.
work
Okay, I
harder
see it.
against?
En la pelea anterior, los estilos de él y Benavidez son muy diferentes. El otro era más un peleador y Benavidez viene muy derecho. ¿Tú sientes que la manera que Benavidez pelea
I'm interested in what the
muestra
all access is
ventaja
going to be for the
para ti
Charlos
este
and the
sábado?
Tank Davis fights, you know?
Benavidez es un boxeador muy sólido.
Because even all the crew has to be tested.
guerrero.
Like, that shit's expensive.
En ningún momento lo vería como ventaja o desventaja. Yo pienso que la pelea es peleando y pues él hará lo que debe hacer y yo haré lo que tenga que hacer para conseguir lo que quiero conseguir.
He says Benavidez is a warrior, but he doesn't see an advantage or disadvantage. It's a fight, and Saturday he's gonna go give it his all, and the best man will win.
Right. And for my last question, we know he contended for the title versus Alberto Ramirez in the past. Is there anything major differences, major adjustments he's making in this training camp for another shot at the title?
Exactly. And they have to test everybody. And everybody has to be quarantined. Like, all that shit is cost. Like, hotel rooms, all that costs money. Like, all of it.
Bueno, pues los cambios que quizás haya hecho han sido un poco más a nivel de la forma de preparar no solo mi cuerpo, sino también mi mente, mi alma, mi espíritu, mi creatividad o mi positivismo y pues no, yo pienso que eso va a ser algo muy beneficioso a mi favor.
He said the biggest change is really more personal in the way his positivity coming into a fight emotionally. He feels that's really the biggest change he's made from that fight to this.
All right, thank you guys, and I look forward to Saturday night.
Thank you, Andres. Very good. Our next question comes from Keith Eidick with Boxing Scene.
Man, it's a lot of boxing knowledge in like a little bit of time. My brain hurts, man. You know,
Yes,
I've been
can
off
you
like
ask
5 months and
Alexis,
shit.
what went wrong in his opinion in the Ramirez fight? And other than the fact that Benavidez is right-handed and Ramirez is a southpaw, how will he have to approach this fight differently to get a different result?
En tu opinión, ¿qué es lo que pasó mal contra la pelea con Ramírez? Y basado que Ramírez es un zurdo y Benavidez es un ortodox peleador, ¿qué diferencia va a ser para esta pelea comparada a esa?
Creo que la diferencia va a ser un poco la experiencia, ¿no? No podría decir que Benavidez es mayor o menos o está en un nivel menos que el zurdo Ramírez. Yo pienso que los dos están en el mismo nivel. Entonces, creo que esa experiencia negativa la tomaré a mi favor para esta próxima pelea contra Benavidez.
He said the biggest thing is really just the experience. Both the Ramirez and Benavidez, he feels, are on the same level.
You're my boy.
So the biggest thing is just turning that negativity into positivity and coming in with a good mindset for Saturday night.
Does he feel, though, that he has to be more aggressive in this fight? I know Benavidez is a dangerous puncher, of course, but does he feel he has to be more aggressive throughout the fight?
I wouldn't be surprised if Angulo wins.
Roma
Angulo. This is him, not Alfredo El Puro.
Siento que debo ser efectivo, muy efectivo y contundente.
He says he feels he has to be more effective. That's the game plan. Just being more effective and smarter this Saturday.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Keith. We'll take our next question from Sean Zittel with Fight Hype and with PBC.com. Sean, you can go ahead.
Gracias, Alexis. No one's, Benavidez is a very strong fighter, good puncher. No one seems to want to go toe-to-toe with him, but you yourself, a very strong guy, aggressive guy. Do you see yourself trying to go toe-to-toe with Benavidez more so than making it a boxing match?
I got 9 post-fight videos I have to do this
Benavidez
weekend.
es un peleador fuerte, un peleador muy agresivo. Sábado, ¿tú vas a ser agresivo también o piensas ser más peleador como completo?
Bueno, exactamente no sé qué es lo que voy a hacer este sábado, pero pues sí debo tener más contundencia y efectividad que Benavidez. No sé si con agresividad o cómo cómo lo haré. Eso no lo sé exactamente, pero lo voy a hacer.
He says the biggest thing, he just has to be smarter and make better decisions. He doesn't really quite have a game plan for this Saturday. He will adjust. But the biggest thing is just being more effective and trying to outsmart Benavidez this Saturday.
Right. Well, again, you kind of just touched on that, but just how do you deal with a guy with the size and the speed and the power of a Benavidez?
¿Cómo vas a, dice que ya lo has dicho eso, pero comparado que Benavidez es grande y fuerte, ¿tú cómo vas a ajustarte para una pelea así?
Bueno, no sé, toca pelear, a ver cómo me ajusto ante su estilo y cómo puedo sacar mi mejor provecho ante eso.
Like you said, he doesn't have a game plan. He said he's coming in there to fight, and he's ready to give it his all, and he's going to adjust. He's going to adjust to anything that Benavidez brings, and whatever he brings, he's going to adjust and be more effective.
And I sense there is no intimidation with you heading into this fight, is there? Because even fighters like Anthony Durrell, who had success against David, it seemed like they're a little intimidated getting into the ring before, but you are not. Is that correct?
Dicen que muchos peleadores como Anthony Durrell han tenido un poquito de intimidación con él, pero que tú no. ¿Es cierto eso?
Bueno, ustedes lo han dicho. Vamos a ver qué es lo que pasa y el sábado veremos lo que es cierto o lo que es mentira y todo lo que dicen.
Well, he said, you guys have been the ones saying that, but come Saturday, he's gonna tell the truth. Come Saturday, he's gonna say it all.
And lastly, what was it like for you coming from Colombia to Miami? You know, now you're fighting for a world title. Just what's this been like for you coming to Miami and getting all the way here?
Yo, did y'all notice dude has not moved? Like his shoulders or nothing? Oh, there you go, a little movement. I was going to say, dude's a synth.
Bueno, el viaje ha sido excelente. Gracias a Dios hemos llegado sin ningún tropiezo.
He's an agent of the institute.
Con mucho optimismo, mucho positivismo y aquí estamos. Vamos a hacer la voluntad de Dios.
He said he's very grateful. He's thankful to God for just the opportunity in general, and he's very excited for this Saturday to make the most of it.
Gracias y buena suerte.
Thank you, Sean. We just have one more question for Alexis, and it comes from Norm Fronheim. I'm going to ask it on his behalf. Alexis, is this your toughest fight to date?
¿Esa es tu pelea más difícil hasta hoy?
Bueno, pues pienso que todas las peleas son difíciles, ¿no? Quizás unas más que otras, pero pues la preparación ha sido buena, todo ha sido excelente y pues el día de la pelea sabremos qué tan difícil.
He said every fight is a difficult one, some harder than others, but he's prepared well, he's ready, and that after Saturday he'll see if that's the hardest fight he's ever had.
Okay, thank you very much, Alexis. Muchas gracias.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Sammy, for your support on the last two availability here. I'll take another short break, and we will be back with Otto Wallin.
Otto Wallin. He gloved him, Tess. He gloved him. Anyway, what's up with y'all? What you up to, man? Yo, I got court in the morning. That's crazy. They gave me 22 hours notice. And it's what I've been waiting for, but I'm scared to death because they always abuse me up in that joint, man. But this time, I get to record it. Wow. I'm going to have the tapes. I'm going to have the tapes. I can't wait for them to violate my rights tomorrow. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, after this stream, I need to let loose a little bit. I got to get out this house and go have some me time. I'm thinking about going somewhere where they allow inside dining, and I need a couple of beers. I need a couple of beers and maybe a burger or maybe a steak. But tomorrow's a very big day, and I need to be like, I need my mind to be right. You got any questions for Otto Wallin? I want to ask him to troll him. Like, so can you talk about Fury's cut and, why did you glove him? Why'd you give him the glove? Oh, Gary Payton ass Wallin. I am looking forward to boxing. You know, there's a lot of boxing going on this week, man. We have a card starting at 3 p.m. Eastern, thanks to Lawrence for letting me know, because I forgot the time. My time is up at the top, you know, left-hand corner, 2:04 p.m. So John O'Carroll's card on ESPN Plus, and if you're in other territories, is going to be on IFL, is at 3 p.m. Going to watch and cover John O'Carroll's fight. Friday is Felix Cash versus Jason Wilborn, and Saturday you have 4 cards of significance. UFC 252, DC's last fight against Stipe Miocic. You have David Benavidez versus Romer and Alex Angulo. This is the, you know, Zoom call we're on right now. You have Cecilia Brakus, undisputed at 147 women's champion, versus Jessica McCaskill. 2 beautiful women. Beautiful, beautiful women. You have Nicole Frampton versus Darren Trainer, ESPN Plus midday. Right, so there's 3 cards. There's 3 boxing cards. And then you have the UFC on Saturday. David Benavidez is last. Here's the lineup for the call. Here's the lineup for the call right here. Let's see. So Angulo just went. So you got Wallin next, Rolando Romero, and then Benavidez at 240. We had just ended. If you want to, you can rewind back the video, or you can go see the call Frampton Mick Conlan call. So basically it was 2 Zoom calls for 2 different promotional companies, 2 different networks at the same time. Call Frampton and Mick Conlan's was at 1 p.m. and this one right here. So we missed Travis Kaufman and Jackson Marinez because we were on the other Zoom call, and we got here for Angulo, and then Wallin, Romero, and Benavidez is next. God damn it, Space Predator, I just told you Benavidez is next, man. What's wrong with you, man? He's next, bro. Well, he's not next, but he's later on. All right, so chill. Get off my back. But besides that, how have you guys been? You guys all right? I just got hungry all of a sudden, you know? I just got hungry all of a sudden. Yeah, man, shit. Get it together. Damn it. I'm too old for this mess. Yeah. So what do we do? Do we go back and watch some Fury versus Wallin fights before he highlights before he gets on the line? Here, let's pull up some tape. I'm getting y'all some tape. Wallin. Well, Fury Wallin. Let's get some tape to put things in the complex context. Look, I'm all discombobulated. Hey, I got some tape for you.
2, 3 rounds.
All right, here we go. Some tape. So while we're waiting for Otto Wallin to show up, here go a little bit of tape from his last fight against Tyson Fury, where he almost ended.
Klitschko in 2015.
Typical Fury at the minute, just having a little look around. He sort of half paused with the jab and then throws a solid one. And for a big guy, it's amazing he can do that.
Of it, and no great drama.
Straight after it, just testing the water.
But he's always really been caught by that cuffing. Fury's last round ended.
It's just because he's a southpaw, so just sometimes.
Back second time around, and he beat.
Establish a solid jab. You got to make sure it comes back.
Sure, Deontay Wilder will be what.
And Valens throwing the shots. He just lacks a little bit of conviction with him. That's all. Because he's aware he might get caught on the counter, so he's. The chances of hitting a clean tag are going to be few.
In his 20 victories.
Nah, I don't want a burger. I'm either going to get maybe some crabs, some shrimp, or a steak if I'm going to treat myself.
Now stepping inside and trying to land big shots. Fury covering up and comes back off the second round.
A measure of one in that round. He was in the
bit more power and authority in that shot.
Yeah, I think he got the measure Fury at all. He comes back and then just let his hands go. Look at this.
Whipping a right uppercut.
Well, Fury landed with the left hand.
But he's still there. Weeks, the referee.
Is Valens still game, still coming to walk forward? just lacked a bit more weight than he probably needed.
And there is a cut over the right eye. Replay picks up exactly how that came. That's been Tony Weeks, the referee.
And basically, I couldn't see out of the eye during the fight. He needs to get this fight over with in this next round.
But the problem he has is that's not his style, is it? It's not like you won't go charging forward, looking to swing haymakers.
He needs to do something. His style is based on reflexes and timing. He needs to be able to see the punches.
So we don't get a no contest. And
allow Wallin a chance to land with him or get close to him.
Catches Wallin as he comes.
And let's hope it doesn't affect his performance in such a situation across over his eye.
So I think he has to sort of stay. I think you got to be more urgent, a little bit more, maybe more. Throw that left hand over the top. A little bit of a disguise.
Everything possible to get close to it, rubbing his eye.
Right hand from Fury was partially blocked.
Okay, thanks for your patience, folks, while we wait for our cleaning crew to get through the surface area and
trying to get him to believe.
Then
Otto
watch
is now
watch
seated.
his hands there.
Clearly
Otto
taking that on
Wallin,
board.
welcome.
And does he believe that he can win this fight? And is he? That is the best punch that
Can you hear
Wallin
me?
has thrown so far. Well,
We
people
can.
said this was going to be a
Welcome.
1, 2, 3 round.
My name's Chris de Blasio with Showtime. We've met before. Thanks for being with us today. You're on with several members of the media. We'll take a few questions from them. Otto is 20 wins and 1 loss on his record.
Any questions?
Very
I have
noteworthy
one.
loss
Couple.
on his record that we
I'm gonna
all
raise my
recall.
hand.
13 knockouts, comes out of Sweden, living and training in New York City through the height of the pandemic and a hot zone for a long while there. Going to take a few questions from the press. Don't be shy, guys. Put your hands up using that raise hand feature.
I raise
on
my
Zoom,
hand.
and we'll take them in order. But Otto, I'd like to ask you, for starters, how this unusual training camp must have gone. I know there were some reports of your working out and training. Of course, you have been public about your positive test for COVID-19, but I do recall some reports about you training in your small apartment in New York City. Tell us a little bit about how unusual this has been.
Yeah, it's been very different. In the spring here, when New York shut down, I was training a lot in my apartment, and I was training outside with Joey in Central Park. So we did a lot of work there, and I had to pretty much build a gym in my apartment. So I bought a bike, I bought like a squat rack, a bench press, some weights and stuff. So I made it work for myself. And then for the last couple of months, we've had a private gym that we were working out of.
Yes, and your bout with COVID-19 and your mother as well. All symptoms are
Damn,
gone,
bro.
and you're feeling healthy. Your family too, I hope.
Glad you are.
Yeah, I didn't have a bout with my mom, but with COVID-19, and it wasn't too bad for me. So it was worse for her. So I'm happy she's doing better. Her boyfriend had it too. He's doing better, and I'm good too. So that's good, of course.
Well, we are too. So thank you. Otto is going to fight Travis Kaufman in a 10-round heavyweight bout to open the show on Saturday night on Showtime. We're going to start with Keith Idek for questions for Otto Wallin. Keith, go ahead.
Hi, Otto. I hope you're doing well. What was it like for you at the hardest point of having COVID-19? Can you kind of take us through that, what it was like dealing with it?
It wasn't too bad for me. I just woke up one morning, had a little sore throat, but I slept with the window open, so I thought that was just why. And then maybe the next day I had also still a little sore throat and a light fever, and I was coughing and sneezing a little bit. And then I had that for maybe 3 or 4 days, and then I got better. And then all of a sudden I lost all my sense of smell and taste, and that was gone for about 10 days. But then it came back, and that was it for me.
So how long altogether would you say you weren't able to do anything because of COVID-19?
I was out for maybe a week and a half, but I started training before I got my senses back because I felt fine otherwise, and other than that I was fine. So we started back training, but very light, and because we didn't know if COVID affected me in some way. So we started very light, and it went well. Maybe the first week it felt a little strange in my lungs, like kind of like I had smoked a pack of cigarettes. But it all went well, and we were careful.
Have you had to take, and I know everyone's being very, very cautious up there at Mohegan Sun and they've put all these protocols in place, but have you had to take extra precautions because you have tested positive? Are you more susceptible? Is there anything extra you've had to do?
No, we've been tested before in training twice a week. And then I just been, training. I've been back in my apartment trying to isolate as much as I could. And my team also, so that's been good. And now we're here, we all tested negative, so we're on the right track.
I just have one last question for you, Otto. How much of this fight is about proving to people that what happened in the Tyson Fury fight was who? I mean, I know you lost the fight, unfortunately, but that was real. That you're at that level. How much of this fight is about proving that?
I mean, it's not so much about proving that. It's just me going out there and being myself and take care of Kaufman. He's a good fighter, so I have to be alert at all times. But I feel like I'm better. I'm more young, fresh, and everything. I just feel like I'm a better fighter. So as long as I go out there and just be myself and leave it all in the ring, everything will come in place. And I think everybody will see that it wasn't a fluke, that it wasn't just a one-time thing, and that I am good and I am for real.
Thank you, Otto.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Keith. We're going to take our next question from Alan Jones. Alan?
Yes, Otto, how are you? This is Alan from In the Ring with Al Jones.
Hey,
glad
Alan.
glad to see you're doing well and healthy right now. My question is, exactly how do you feel about the state of the heavyweight division right now? And where do you see yourself? How do you rank yourself in the division, in the heavyweight division? And do you see yourself going for a title anytime, within the next year or so, or any time frame?
Yeah, hopefully I will get a title shot. I mean, I really did well with Fury and better than anybody has.
I've been chilling.
So you can take that and look at it and say that I'm one of the top guys for sure. But where I stand is hard to tell. But I definitely think that I'm one of the top guys, and I'm happy to be back fighting again and can't wait to show that. And then, the champions are tied up with themselves and stuff. So we'll see when it's going to happen. But I feel like after the Fury fight, nobody would have to take criticism for fighting me. So they know that I'm good, hopefully, and that they will give me another shot. I know Fury, he's always calling out a lot of guys, but he never mentioned my name.
All right, thank you so much, and good luck this weekend, Otto.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alan. We're going to take our next question from Marcos Villegas. Marcos from Fight Hub. Go ahead.
Thanks, Chris. Hey, Otto, good to see you virtually. I'm glad you're okay. I know I checked in with you when this whole COVID thing broke out. I want to know, now that you've had a full camp, have you noticed any difference having gone through COVID and going through a camp in terms of yourself physically compared to the camp you had before?
No change really. Yes, that I feel like I've got another year of training since the Fury fight, and I feel better. I mean, I'm in great shape. I feel like I'm developing all the time, and I'm always in training. So it's been good. Another year behind me and good training. So I just feel better, and I don't think COVID has affected me in many ways.
Okay, that's good to hear, because I know a lot of people have mentioned that they have like lingering lung issues after dealing with it.
No, not for me. Not that I know of, at least.
That's really good. Otto, how's it like being there in the bubble? And how has this whole process been for you, like both emotionally and mentally?
Mentally, I mean, it's been different and it's been challenging a little bit, but I think that training has kept me on the right path all this time. And I'm always training, like I said, and when this happened, like we talked before, I made a gym at home, so I was always training. So I never really got off track. So it's been good in that way. I think that really training has saved me from that. So yeah, I just trying to make most of each day.
And my last question, Otto, with the win over Travis Kaufman, who do you have your sights set on in terms of the heavyweight title picture?
I would like to fight the champions, of course, and that's Fury and Joshua right now. Wilder's one of the top guys, see how he comes back. But definitely, that's the fight I really want. A Fury rematch or to fight Joshua. But then now it's important for me to stay busy, get this fight here, and take care of Kaufman. And then hopefully I'll be back in the ring very soon, maybe before the end of the year, if everything goes well here.
Okay. Thank you, Marcos. I'm going to take our next question from Ron Goodall, Fight Hype. Ron, you'll unmute and go ahead with your question.
All right, this question here for Otto Wallin. Given your performance against Tyson Fury, how do you feel about taking that momentum and then going up against Travis Kaufman and then against other heavyweights in the future?
Yeah, I think I got great momentum from that fight because the world started noticing me, and I think a lot of people keeping an eye on this fight to see how I do. So it's important that like I said before, I just gotta be myself and do my best and leave it all in the ring, and then I think it all will come to in place. But it would be nice, of course, get a good win here and show everybody, like we said, that it wasn't a fluke that time.
Now, given that you wanted to show that it's not a fluke, how quick do you feel like you would have to take out Travis Kaufman to impress people to say that you're one of the top heavyweights?
I don't know. I try not to think about that too much. I just want to focus on our game plan and focusing on what I should do, and then the results come with it. So I just feel like I'm in great shape. I had great sparring, and I'm very ready for him. And then, most important, get the win, and hopefully I can get him out of there.
All right, thank you. We'll look forward to see you go all in on Saturday.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ron. We'll take another question here from Carlos Toro. Carlos?
Hey, Otto, thanks so much for taking time to talk to us. I know this year must have been this has been a very crazy year, especially for you. Does it feel that now that we're just days away from the fight, does it feel kind of a little bit more normal as far as, you're in the groove, getting ready for the fight, and just overall just having nothing, not worrying about what's been going on outside and just getting your mind ready for the fight?
Yeah, it feels great. That's finally something's happening. I finally get a fight. It's almost been a year since my last fight. So, it's okay to train, but I don't want to train all the time. I want to fight too. And finally, there's a fight and some action. I've been in New York and we've been on lockdown, so it's been kind of boring. But now finally we're here and the fight's around the corner.
How much does this fight against Travis Kaufman, does part of the motivation with, obviously 2019 has been a crazy year with the Nick Kissner fight ending the way it did after just one round, and then the Tyson Fury fight. Does getting finally that first win on U.S. soil kind of add a little bit more motivation into this fight?
Yeah, I haven't thought about that exactly, but I always want to win, of course. So the win is the most important, and I feel like I'm ready to get the win.
Obviously, I know you've been very anxious about getting back into the ring and everything. Have you, since the Tyson Fury fight, have you kind of had chances to sort of just look back on your last couple of fights and see what you could have done better, what things you could work on in preparation for this fight and just beyond this fight moving forward?
Yeah, I think that's a good thing when you fight the best, that you see what you do well and you see where you can improve. So, of course, I've been watching the fight and studying it, and just being in there with Fury and getting that experience, 12 rounds with the champion like that, it's nothing better. And I need experience, and I want to stay busy. So that was great for me, and I'm sure that I've learned a lot that I don't even know yet. So I feel like I've improved, and we know I gotta improve even more, but we're working on everything all the time. And so I feel like most important was that big experience that I got from the fight.
Okay, Otto, that was our last question for this session. We appreciate your time.
Damn, they snuffed me.
And just to let everybody out there that's not here at Mohegan, it is quite boring even here in preparations for the fights. The fight's on Saturday, and the weigh-in will be a little bit of spice.
I had a nice question,
but we are holed up here in lockdown as well. So thanks for participating. Thanks to all the press for some great questions. We'll take a short break. We'll be back with Rolly Romero.
Damn, I got snubbed, y'all. I had some good questions, and they snubbed me. I got snubbed. And Chris de Blasio is supposed to be my friend, and I got snubbed. So, yeah, that fight's this weekend. So what am I going to have? Am I going to have a steak, or am I going to have some shrimp or some crab? Tomorrow is a very important day. I got a virtual court hearing where likely my rights are going to be violated. So I got to make sure that I'm mentally, like, ready. Yeah, they did me dirty. Y'all saw my hand was raised. I had my hand raised. You know, I think I do want steak. But I also want, I don't really want no lobster. But I also kind of want like some crabs, like the big crabs, like the Dungeness or whatever you call them, those crab legs, snow crabs or something. But I don't feel like the work, you know. You got to put the work in to eat those. And I just don't feel like it. But I definitely need to get out this house today because tomorrow, stressing. Onion rings, garlic bread for starter? Yeah. I mean, I guess if I'm celebrating, I should just go ahead and get fat, right? Yeah, I do want it. But where, though? But where? That's the question. Stress is high. Take my ass out, sit my ass by my gut name still, and tear up that crab or whatever I'm going to eat. You know, we've been on a Zoom call since 1 o'clock. We've been here 2 hours. Well, hour and a half. We're going to be here 2 hours. Minced steak for your false teeth. Hey, I didn't get my fake teeth yet, you son of a bitch, Gary. Yes, I'm having some work done to my mouth, my back teeth. I had 4 of them removed. You know, floss too much and drank a lot of soda. Yo, you're low. You're low down. Fucking scumbags, man. But yeah, I kind of do want some steak. We're waiting for Rolando Romero. Hey, let's go look at this card real quick. This is the card that we're covering. This is Saturday on Showtime. David Benavidez versus Romer Alexei Angulo. Rolando Romero, this is the guy who's coming up next on this Zoom call. Yeah, you toothless bastard. 11-0 with 10 KOs. He's coming on the call next. Wallin versus Travis Kaufman. Just left Carlos Negron versus Jonathan Wrights on that joint too. Carl Frampton and Mick Conlan was on earlier. So yeah, we're covering a lot. And tomorrow, here, let me pull it up for you. Tomorrow, the WBC convention. Like it's some big time shit going on tomorrow. Damn, they really gonna violate my rights tomorrow. But at the same time, you know, they keep, like, I've been told, it's like, yo, the more they keep doing it, the more money you're gonna get. And I think, like, who thinks like that? I don't want, you know, I didn't want no lawsuit. I just want my kid, man. Move on my life, do my boxing stuff. So here is the schedule for the WBC convention. I signed up. I had to pay $25. So you pay $25 and you get access to the convention. Here, let me zoom in. So this is what's going on today. Truth be told, 3 p.m. As soon as David Benavidez leaves this call, 4 p.m., 4:30 p.m., he's got to be at the WBC convention, so we can talk to him there too. Who else they have? Chavez and Ryan. They had Ryan Garcia earlier. Missed that joint. So tomorrow we're going to be here for the ratings where they announce who's going to be the mandatories and everything like that. Amir Khan is going to be on tomorrow, Jesse Vargas, and these are all Zooms. I have all the login stuff. You got the Charlos. We got to be here for the Charlos, right? WBC Talks. Twin Charlo, Jamel Charlo. Wait a minute. Press room. Workshops. Friday they got Sergio Martinez. He fight next week, so want to talk to him definitely. But anyway, yeah, it's gonna be busy. It's gonna be busy. A lot of boxing shit. A lot of boxing shit. I don't want no lobster though. Like I don't want no lobster or crab because I don't feel like picking through everything. You know, that's one thing about like with crabs, especially if you get the small ones, you gotta like work for it. You know, I don't want that. But a steak, you just slice that thing. You know. Why's my video output low? What's going on? Let me close all this crap. Hold on, let me close some of this stuff. That. Get that out of here. Get that out of there. All right, there we go. Getting better. All right, quality should pick up soon. Like a couple minutes. Not even that. Oh, I'm tired, man. That shit zapped my energy. So what's up? What's going on with you guys? What are you doing? I'm just going through the motions. That's why I'm here streaming all this. You know, showing that like, all right, T Street, you know, he take one for the team. What the hell is this installing? I didn't ask for you to install. Get out of here. Who is this Romero dude? Y'all know this dude? This Rolando Romero? What's the deal on him? What's the deal on him? We're going to beat that woman beater down. See how he's going to like it. Get it from a real man. Damn woman beaters. Ruben Guerrero is hilarious. He's like, I am what I am because I am what I am. Or some old crazy shit he said. Remember that? I'm blessed. My son is blessed. Damn, they taking forever. What is Rolando Romero doing? He got beef with Ryan Garcia? He did. What did he stop him in sparring? Everybody stopped Ryan Garcia in sparring. They always talking about they beat him up in sparring. Everybody beat Ryan Garcia up in sparring. He must be some type of sucker. He a sucker? Oh, man. What's taking this shit so long? Like, damn, just tell the motherfucker sit down and be like, yo, you next. Get up on that joint. Talk to the people. You know? I'm not feeling Terrence Crawford versus Kell Brook, by the way. I'm not feeling that. It's like Kell Brook ain't been in 147 in so long, and when was his last win at 147? You dig? You know? Romero is fighting, I'm guessing it's at 135. It might be above. It might be at 140, but I think he's going to be competing at 135. Is this kid good? I heard about him, but I'm rusty. Is he good?
Okay, folks, we're gonna get started with
shit.
Rolando Rollies Romero.
All right, I guess
shortly.
we're back. I don't got no questions for him. I put my hand down. Oh man. I gotta go to bed. I'm gonna go to bed. I was supposed to make this Spanish soup. I got all the ingredients. What's the Spanish soup that got the beef shanks in it? Spanish beef soup with the potato and the serrano peppers and the corn and the cabbage. What's that soup called?
Good afternoon.
I've been up since
Rolly.
5 o'clock this
Chris
morning.
Blasio from Showtime here. Thanks for joining us.
And I went to
Hello,
sleep
how
at
you guys doing?
1 in the morning.
We're doing pretty well. We're excited for this Saturday night. The press on the line will have questions for you. I'll give you an opportunity to make an opening comment and ask you a question or two. Rollies Romero is 11-0. He fights out of the Mayweather Boxing Club in Las Vegas. He's got 10 big knockouts. Highly touted prospect. You got speed, you got power, and you have skill. But so far, some limited competition, I guess, limited number of rounds. You've been able to dispatch with opponents very quickly and efficiently.
That's what it is. Caldo de
Res.
Res. I'm gonna show you the recipe
on Saturday night against Jackson Marinez for an interim title at 135 pounds. You got a great backstory, Rolly. Tell us a little bit about your excitement, the excitement of your father, and what Saturday night could mean for you as a step in your career so far.
Well, as far as like the fight goes, I mean, as far as all that goes, it's a big opportunity for me. It's the only way I'm truly going to be able to move.
So is this real El Chicano, El Mexicano food? I'm making this. I got the ingredients.
I've been in with all the top people in the ring, as far as sparring goes. But it's not the same as a real fight, but this will show that I'm ready to be in a real fight with all of them, And
got all this.
And my father, he's extremely proud of me.
That's great. You've been, I guess, scheduled for several 8-round fights so far. This is going to be a 12-round fight. Does that pose any challenges for you? Do you anticipate going rounds with Jackson Marinez, or do you anticipate something shorter than that?
No challenge with the rounds. I'm never gonna I'm not gonna.
It's supposed to be in a crock pot right now,
regardless. But I'm prepared. I was sparring 15 rounds in camp, so I'm perfectly fine. I enjoy sparring. Sparring's like the best thing ever. It's what I enjoy. So it wasn't hard for me to get any.
All right, very good. I'm going to ask the press with questions for Rolly to use the raise hand function on the Zoom.
Some rice
call on you. Our first question comes from Alan Jones. Alan, you can go ahead.
Rolly, how you doing, man? It's In the Ring with Al Jones. How's it going?
I'm good. How you been?
I'll chill out.
Good. All is well. Glad to see you back in the ring this weekend. I'm glad to see that your health is fine. Everything's going good for you. Just basically, you've been. I've noticed. I've seen you working out with Floyd Mayweather.
I got some rice too. Some Spanish rice on the side.
Has that been inspiring for you, working out with one of the greatest of all time? And how has that helped you in preparation for this fight?
Well, just for Floyd giving me any bit of time at all, it says something great because he's a wealthy man. He's busy, he's a champ. He has a lot of other things.
He looked like the kid that had all the Super Nintendo games when they came out.
That's already a blessing, He
Turtles in Time
me, to work my jab, work my boxing ability, stuff like that, So we've worked a lot in camp, so it's good.
Do you see yourself more so relying on your skill set, or still relying on your power as much in this particular fight, coming up, going up against a much tougher, more skillful opponent?
Well, I've never relied on my power. My power, like I said, I use my skill set. My power automatically lands a punch and they're out. So, a lot of people think that I rely on my power.
I wonder how
I'm just a heavy-handed person,
Is he fast?
There's not, I'm not trying to force my power. My power's already there. Anything I do is going to be a knockout regardless.
Okay. And I can't wait to see you again so we can get that chess game going on.
Oh, you're going to lose.
Thanks, Rolly. Good luck
sick
this
burn,
weekend,
bro. Sick
thank
burn.
You.
Forever confident, Rolly Romero. That's great. Alan, thanks for the questions. Andres Gomez, we'll go to you.
Good afternoon, Rolly. How you doing, man?
I'm good.
So, champ, I was wondering, there seems to be a trend of Mayweather promotion fighters being matched up tough this year with Showtime schedule being released. How do you feel about being put to the test against, a tough opponent now?
I was the one asking for it. It's not normal for somebody to go from, look, I only fought one 8-rounder. That's 2 rounds. I never fought a 10-rounder. I'm going to stick to 12. So, I'm the one asking for it. So anything that happens to me, I deserve it because I'm the one asking for it. But nothing's going to happen to me except for me be at the top.
Right. Now, you mentioned your experience, being in the ring and sparring with all the top guys. This guy, he has some more experience as far as rounds under his belt. How do you see the experience factor playing out in this fight?
Fighting out of the blue corner, he comes in wearing the purple.
Like I said, I think just my boxing ability and my power is just too much for him. Way too much. I don't think he's gonna be able to do anything to me.
Right. Now, you
He look
being
a
in the
little
stacked
wild,
division, man, what
little
would you rank
unhinged.
yourself amongst those top guys, or what do you feel you have to do to
Fake
put
ass Chris
yourself
Eubank.
in that category?
I personally think I'm number one, but I'm myself, is biased obviously, but I think I'm number one. I think I stop every single one of them at 135.
Right. Now, my last question, man, you being around such a great athlete, a great fighter like Floyd Mayweather, how has his mentorship been meant to you? What have you learned, being around him so
I
much?
don't know. How y'all feel about this tape?
Well, when I first originally signed
He
to
look a
Floyd, I
little
asked him,
wild to
what
me.
should I work on? He told me work on my jab. And I mean, that didn't really click into about 4 or 5 fights in, and I started working on it. So, I mean, that's forever going to be the best piece of advice he's ever given me.
All right, champ.
Yeah, that's the best piece of advice he's ever given me.
All right, champ. Thank you, and wish you the best Saturday night.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andres. We'll take our next question from Reggie Woodson. Reggie, you can go ahead.
Hey, how you doing, Riley?
I'm good.
Hey, right now, your power is, doing big things for you and has you going places. What do you envision for yourself, as a fully developed fighter?
Fully developed, when I'm a champ, or when I'm an older person, more developed, as stronger.
Like when you feel like your skills fully arrive, and you're the full package, what do you think will be the kind of like how fans define you as a fighter?
Well, I'm already defined as a puncher, and I have yet to show my boxing ability for the most part because I haven't needed to. So if it's not needed, why am I going to show it? So as I'm putting in tougher and tougher fights, I think at 35, I think it's going to be just a walk down of hell for all of them. So, but at 40, 47, I think they're going to be a little bit stronger, or a lot stronger. So, I think you guys are going to see my boxing ability more at 40 and 47.
All right. Is there an aspect of or quality about your style right now that you think is a little undervalued by fans and media?
I'm faster than what people think I am. I'm more explosive than people think I am. My reflexes, my defense way better than people think I am. So, it's just like you guys are going to see within time, as I get in there with more and more top guys, you guys are going to see I'm getting better. I started sport at 17. I'm 24 now. So, I have nothing but room to grow.
Good word. Last question. What's your outlook on lightweight? There's so many highly touted names right around you. What's your outlook on being able to actually get in the ring to really show that you're better than all of those guys?
135 do have a lot of prospects,
you guys seen
and
videos of
it's
me
deep.
with a lot of them in the ring. So, like I said, it's just going to be a walk down of hell for all of them.
I like how you put that. Walk down to hell. Good luck, man.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Reggie. Rolly, you're supremely confident. You got a big personality. You've shown so far the skills and the power.
Y'all think
to back
T.O.
it up.
gonna beat Loma? I don't, man.
What do
I
you
think
know
people
about
tripping on
Alexis
bath
Marinez?
salts
Jackson
and
Marinez.
PCP
And what do you
and opioid
anticipate any
crisis
challenges he can bring you
drugs.
on Saturday?
Basically all I know, he's from Dominican Republic, he's Orthodox, and he's a boxer. So, that's all I need to know. So, and for challenges, I don't see really any challenges. Just like I said, it's going to be the walk down of hell. I think it's going to be I think I'm going to win no problem by very early rounds knockout, a very bad knockout.
Okay, great. Well, we wish you luck. Recently read a story where you shared a bit about your father's backstory and his trip from Cuba and how he has set you up for life. And you teased a little bit about how Floyd Mayweather may have saved your life at one time. So we wish you luck and hope that you will someday reveal that. You promised to do so in time.
I was looking up
So
some
we're
of
looking
Mayweather
forward to
daughter
hearing that
shit.
story. If you
She's
win
a fucking
Saturday night, we may have
dickhead,
to
bro. I
ask you
feel
about that
bad for
specifically.
Floyd for real.
All right.
We
All right, thank you.
appreciate that. I
It's the
appreciate your
music.
time.
They think that shit is like
Thank you.
life's, man.
Okay, good luck on Saturday. And to the press, we will take a break and be back with David Benavidez in just a few minutes.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Like Floyd Doherty's situation is crazy, like crazy. And it's like, how do you get in, like, you, like, you know? And I understand, like, you know, she was privileged, and, you know, it's unfortunate that Floyd let her see the way he treated women, and, like, she wanted to be like a video, like, girl or whatever. Like, man, like, man, she's facing 99 years. Now, she's not going to get all that. And, you know, you have some people saying, well, Floyd got money, he going to be able to pay her off. It's like, yo, the state picked up the case. And it's Texas, bro. Texas. Like over a dude. And then he left her. She stabbed up a chick over him. Then he left her and went with called Floyd a bitch. Like, yo, bitch ass daddy. Like, bro, these little girls are here, and I be thinking, like, man, like, they need their fathers not just to be like there to be, oh, well, he's my father. I'm talking about, like, they need them to show them, like, in their lives, like, right and wrong and who to stay away from. I wish I would catch my daughter listening to some of this Cardi B and all this shit they got out here. I wish I would. Lock me the fuck up. If I ever allow my kids to listen to that crap. Yeah, there's some spoiled rich kids. Let me tell you, true story. This was at the Mayweather-McGregor press conference in New York. And I'm pretty sure she was underage at the time. I'm pretty sure. And I was looking like, I felt so disgusted because I was sitting next to her. And I was like, ew. Like, why is you out here like this? Like, ew. Yeah, I got stabbed up. Like, I was like, yo, a kid not supposed to be dressing like that. Like, what the fuck? So then, you know, I was following her on Instagram because, like, you Floyd daughter. I'm going to follow you because you're Floyd daughter. Like, and I'm looking like, I couldn't look at that shit. I'm like, what the fuck, Floyd? You got your daughter out here looking like, bro. Like, ew. Like, I don't like little girls that, like, act like they grown and shit. That shit pisses me the fuck off, man. You know? But yeah, man, it's just crazy, man. It's just crazy. So waiting for David Benavidez. He's the last one. I've been live for 1 hour 46 minutes because, you know, we had to call Frampton, Mick Conlan Zoom first, and then this one. And I got court in the morning, so they hit me with, like, letting me know I got a virtual hearing tomorrow between 9 and 11 a.m. They let me know 24 hours notice. So it's like I said, you know what? I'm going out. I'm going to have me something to eat and come home and turn my phone off, and I'm going to bed. Stressing the fuck out over here. Baby thieves, man. Baby thieves. Canelo ain't fighting no time soon. Danny Garcia's sisters, like, they, like, I don't know, they're a little weird too, man. Like, they're a little weird because they, like, small, and it's like I don't know. It's like, I don't, like, yo, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's like, yo, man, like, these girls out here these days, it's like, yo, y'all gonna be, like, grown, like, women one day, like, grown, like, and I wonder if they think, like, the way they look, not just Danny Garcia, so I'm just saying, like, the girls that dress like that, do they think, like, they're gonna get, like, a good man or something? Like, do they think they're gonna, like, get, like, drug dealers or rappers or NBA? I don't get it. Like, the youth out here, they're fucked. Remember back in the 80s and shit, early 90s? Well, if you ain't old enough. But, like, women ain't wearing makeup and all this weave and all that. Now, you got women that can't leave the house. Like, unless they put their stuff on. You know, all them chemicals on their face. You got fake butts and fake boobs and, you know, it's all crazy. You know, all this makeup and all that, like, really? You know, people look like totally different people. It's like, so you are a different person without your makeup. Like, you're not that person. Well, I'm not on Instagram no more. I gave up on Instagram. I don't want to see none of that shit. No way. Instagram is a whole bunch of like frauds and people, you know. I saw something on the dude yesterday, Dan Brazarian, whatever was his name is. Now something was always not right, like didn't seem right to me about him, you know. So when I finally like looked him up and I saw like his documentary and everything, or they like yo, he's a fake, and I said I knew it. Like people like that, it's like, you know, you overcompensate, bro. I knew something wasn't right about dude. Like, anytime you paying chicks to be around you, like, for real? Floyd be on that shit, too? You got to pay women to be around you, for real. Like,
Thanks for your patience to all the members of the press. We expect David Benavidez to join us shortly. Oh, I think I see him arriving now. Good timing. Welcome, David. Chris de Blasio here from Showtime. How are you?
Okay.
Thank you for having me. I'm feeling good. How are you guys doing?
We are good. You're on with several members of the press, and we'll take a few questions from them. First from me, I'd like to ask you how your preparations have gone. We know this fight was originally scheduled for
for the
April.
Zoom sessions. Yeah, I am back, bro. I'm getting there.
Now here in Connecticut.
We're not going to be in a full swing until probably like
We're hoping
Sunday.
to have a fight in your hometown, Phoenix, Arizona.
I wonder what the notification is.
But now we're here. Tell us about how your preparation has gone and what your anticipation is for Saturday night.
No, I feel amazing. You know, our preparation has been very good. You know, thank God.
Redon07 has just donated $5. It smells of cat urine somewhere. Is it you?
Well, he didn't
I
open
bet
it.
it
He had just
is.
finished building
For
it,
your
so we were
beer
having
later.
private sessions in our
Thanks
gym
for the
without
Zoom
any
sessions.
people.
Interesting
So we got
to
our
hear.
runs in great,
Glad
you know, our
you're
sparring
frequent
sessions
and
in.
back.
I was having,
Good luck
you know, I
tomorrow.
had 3-4 guys, you know, which were all tested for
Thanks, bro.
for COVID. You know, everybody came back negative. So I was doing about 15 rounds, you know, and then towards the last 2 weeks, we toned it down to 12 rounds. So I feel like, you know, we got some good sparring.
All right, I'll
got
raise
some
my
good
hand.
running, you know, strength and conditioning was good. You know, my diet was good. You know, I'm very close to weight right now. So I feel amazing, man. I feel ready just to defend my title come Saturday.
That's great. How important was the move to Seattle for you? You know, we know you've made some changes in your training, your preparations. Moving to Seattle must have been a big part of that, or?
Yeah, it was really good, man. I just bought my house, and you know, I'm trying to settle down. You know, I just bought a house out there. You know, so it's a very beautiful place. You know, there's a lot of trees. You know, it's very big on you know, the environment out there's a lot of wilderness. So you know, it's a good place just to relax. You know, and just figure out what I really want. You know, in life, and you know, I just dedicated myself to boxing. You know, so everything has been perfect. You know, I feel like I hit a different stage in my life and in my career, and I'm just ready to become a great champion and defend my title and, you know, keep winning.
We're excited to have you headline the first defense of your second reign here at super middleweight. So proud to have you on and leading another important show for us on Showtime as we get back into live event production. Going to take some questions now from the press. I'm going to start with Reggie Woodson, top of the list. Reggie, go ahead.
Hey, how you doing today, David?
What's up, brother? I'm doing good. And yourself?
Pretty good. Thank you. Does Romero Angulo, does he bring anything to the table to you that you haven't seen in your previous opponents?
You know, I've seen his style in some of my previous opponents. You know, probably the person I could, you know, compare him to a little bit is Porky Medina. The difference between Porky Medina and Angulo is Angulo's a little bit more fresh. He didn't go through all the wars that Porky Medina had. You know, Porky Medina faced a lot of great guys. You know, Romer Angulo
I ain't hear
is
a
the same
bad
type
Medina
of
in a
fighter.
long
You know,
time.
he's very heavy-handed. You know, he wants to win. You know, this is a big opportunity for him. And he's coming off an upset of Anthony Sims Jr. And I think that's kind of what has him motivated, you know, to this point, you know, him thinking he could beat me. But, you know, I've seen his style before, you know, in the ring, you know, in a very big fight, you know, so I'm ready for whatever he comes, whatever style comes my way. I have to be very patient. I just can't go in there, just trying to knock this guy out, leave myself open for any openings. I got to take my time, but if I have confidence in myself, my speed, my power, and if I do everything perfectly, I feel the knockout will come on its own. And if the knockout doesn't come on its own, best believe I'm gonna put a beating on Romer Angulo, and I'm looking to give a great show to all my people and all my fans, around the world.
Did you credit what Angulo did in that fight against Anthony Sims Jr., or was it an off night for Sims Jr. in your opinion?
At this level, it can't be an off night. A victory is a victory. Especially when both guys are looking to make a splash. That was Anthony Sims' opportunity. So how can it be an off night for him? He had to be at his best. So I feel like the best man showed up on that night. You got to give credit where credit is due. Angulo is the one pushing the pace the whole time. He's a little bit awkward, but I feel like he does some stuff that, a lot of people don't give him credit for. He knows how to set up shots. He knows when to throw them. So, I've watched him very carefully. I know exactly, the tricks he does. I know what he does good. I know what he does bad. So, we're just going to work from there.
I like boxers that say they actually watch tape.
One of the definitely one of the fighters with an offense that we sit back and marvel at and admire. What does this do? This downtime? What does that do for you being sharp in that area of your game?
Well, I've just been practicing in every aspect of my game. Defense. Keeping the distance, jab, inside fighting, body shots, which is one of my favorite keys. You know what I mean? So I feel like Romer Angulo is a perfect fighter, the perfect person to display everything I have. You know what I mean? It's going to be a rugged, tough fight, but that's what I'm expecting for every fight, from now until the end of my career. There's no fight that's going to be easy, especially at this level. So I think as long as I prepare myself, correctly and, not miss a day in training and sparring or in any of my runnings, I think I'll just be fine. You know what I mean? This is where I wanted to be. I wanted to be in this level.
I've been at this computer since 5 a.m.
I'm gonna take full advantage.
For fuck's sakes, mate.
Last question. You're in a situation where there are a lot of interesting fights out there for you. If you get past this one, what could be the best thing to happen for you career-wise between 2021 and the rest of this year?
Just right now, getting back into it. I haven't fought in at least it's about to be a year, maybe 11 months. So, I'm just more than eager to get back into the ring. Let's say there's an opportunity to fight in December or January, I'm definitely going to take it. I want to be more active. I want to be as active as possible. You know what I mean? I feel like the coronavirus and the pandemic, kind of took away from my momentum a little bit, because I had a lot of momentum, winning the title back. So I was hoping to at least have 2 fights by this time, but unfortunately the coronavirus and this pandemic, everybody lost in the world. They got pushed back a little bit. So first things first, I got to take care of my business on Saturday, beat Romer Angulo, and then if I could get a fight in December or January, that's exactly what we're looking to do.
Okay, thanks, Reggie. I'll take our next question from Sean Zittel. Sean with Fight Hype.
Hey, what's up, champ? Thanks for joining. Thanks for giving us some time.
How you doing?
When you touched on it earlier, mentioning the Porky Medina fight. If a guy like Angulo tries to come at you and fight in an aggressive style, is that like running into a buzzsaw?
Yeah. First of all, give a shout out to Sean. He's one of my buddies. I can't see your face, but I recognize your voice. How you doing, bro?
Thank you, Dave.
Like I said, Romer Angulo is a tough fighter, tough, rugged fighter. He looks like he has a lot of power, especially watching the fight with him and Zurdo Ramirez. He hurt Ramirez a couple of times, not just once. So, like I said, I got to be very careful. I can't go in there thinking that this guy can't hurt me. You know what I mean? Anybody can get hurt with any type of shot, if you get caught. So, everything has to be perfect. I'm looking to keep my distance good. But I'm looking to, when I get on the inside, I'm looking to attack the body, attack with uppercuts, attack with combinations, exactly.
Who out there thinks this guy can beat Canelo?
It's going to be a tough fight, man.
I know some of you out there. Who?
Where I want to be.
Let me know now. Show yourself.
There's not going to be no more easy fights, is what I'm trying to say. But I'm up to it. I want to be the best, and I want to show the people I'm the best. So this is exactly what we got to go through.
you have a prediction, or do you visualize the fight at all, how it ends or anything like that?
Well, every time you guys ask me, I always want to end the fight in knockout. That's always my go-to. But like I said, if it doesn't end with the knockout, it's going to be a one-sided victory. I want to show you guys why I'm the best. I'm looking for this to be a very competitive fight, but I want to win clearly. I don't want there to be a doubt in anybody's head that, it could have been a draw, this and that. No, it's not. I'm going to win clearly, and I'm going to win convincingly. And if we could get the knockout, we get the knockout. We can't, but we're definitely going to win convincingly.
Is there anything in particular on your game that you're looking to work on in this fight that you want to see some improvement from the last fight on?
I think I'm going to go to Outback Steakhouse.
I think this is going to be a little bit of a different fight because this is a different type of fighter.
Not trying to splurge, just trying to get like a nice little dinner steak.
Or utilizing the ring like how Darrell was. But if he does, we have something ready for him. But me, I just want to do what I keep doing. I want to start the fight off good, find my
let me get to my some 40-60. That means you got Canelo winning.
Find my momentum, and then ultimately just break the guy down like how I
did
with
I forgot about that. Let me look at the menu.
Like how I did with Jay Leon Love, Porky Medina. That's my plan, and then we're gonna stick to the plan. We're gonna continue doing so.
And lastly, David,
I'm gonna sit in that motherfucker right by my damn self.
Will you be pressuring Caleb following this fight? Maybe even in the post-fight interview, that kind of thing. Is that does that fight need to happen?
Watch some Perry Mason.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I want to happen next. I feel like that's what needs to happen. There can't be 4 champions in super middleweight division all undefeated. We all gotta take risks. We all think we're the best. So let's all fight each other. Why not? I want to be the best, and I want to have those other belts. So we got to get it on. It's Caleb Plant, Billy Joe Saunders, Callum Smith, or if we could get the king of the boxing world, Canelo Alvarez. I feel like I want to take these chances now. And I want to go in there, and I want to show people, and I want to know for myself that I am the best too.
Thanks so much, David.
No, thank you.
Thank you, Sean. We'll take our next question from Marco Perez. Marco, if you can ask your question, if you need to ask it in Spanish, that's fine. But if you can translate for us, I do not have our translator, Sammy.
Ok, primero que todo, ¿cómo estás, David Benavidez? Espero que estés bien. Y quiero felicitarte porque tú eres uno de los boxeadores que trajeron el público de vuelta a ver un show como los que tú das. Definitivamente eres uno de estos grandes boxeadores. Mi primera pregunta es, ¿crees que te puede afectar el tema de puerta cerrada, de pelear en puerta cerrada?
Pues la verdad no. Pues primeramente sí me siento muy bien, listo. Trabajé muy duro para esta pelea, ya tengo 3 meses entrenando, yo estoy listo para defender el título, pero no, yo no creo que me va a afectar, yo creo que voy a estar más enfocado que nada, más que nada, y ahorita ya estoy listo para pelear y defender el título.
La pelea que viste con Angulo, con Ramírez, ¿vas a tomar esa experiencia de ahí? ¿Vas a hacer el plan de pelea con lo que viste con Ramírez? Sabemos que Angulo pega y que quizás de pronto ¿te gusta a ti el tú a tú? ¿Quizás vas por ahí de cuerpo a cuerpo?
Pues las peleas que estoy mirando es de la pelea de Ramírez y Anthony Sims. Yo no puedo hacer mi game plan de la pelea de Ramírez y Angulo porque Ramírez es lefty y yo soy right-handed. So, yo puedo, nomás de esa pelea, yo puedo mirar los golpes que sí puede meter el Angulo, las fuerzas que tiene y las cosas que hacen bien. Y cuando miro la pelea con el Anthony Sims, porque el otro es el Anthony Sims como yo, es derecho.
Sí.
Ahí puedo mirar las cosas, lo que sirve contra el Angulo.
Rosetta Stone.
Y si puedo tirar a la derecha, algo así, pero nomás yo tengo un game plan listo para el Angulo y lo voy a enseñar el sábado.
Definitivamente, David, esto no va a durar hasta los 12 asaltos. Tú pegas, Angulo pega. Tú pronosticas, tu equipo pronostica un knockout al séptimo. ¿Tú crees que al no conseguir el knockout ya se va un poquito más de inteligencia a ir al golpe a golpe? Porque van a haber como 2 choques de trenes, le llamo yo. ¿Tú crees eso? El que aguante más.
Sí, yo tengo que tomar mi tiempo, trabajar muy inteligente. Yo creo que así va a venir el knockout solo, va a venir solito. como dije, yo tengo muchos knockouts, él tiene muchos knockouts, so yo no creo que esta pelea va a la decisión. Yo creo que va a ser un knockout.
Marco, thank you for the questions. We're going to move on now to Keith Idek with Boxing Scene. Keith, you're up.
Asking all them damn questions, Marco.
David, how have you found what's obviously a very different fight week up at Mohegan Sun? How have you found that to be so far since you've been there?
You know, it's very different. Since we got here, I think I've only been out of the room like once or twice, and so it's very different. But to be honest, you know what I mean? It's I don't really mind it because you know the fight weeks could get very hectic. You know, especially we want to be a part of all the fans. The fans want to see us. We got to go and shake hands. Take pictures with everybody. But sometimes it's happened to me before in the fights. Like we're cutting weight, so you're able to get sick a little bit faster. So you go and shake hands with people, this and that, and then you end up getting sick. So as of right now,
I'm
I
looking
feel
at the
a little bit more
Outback Steakhouse
comfortable.
menu.
I feel comfortable, but it's very unfortunate that the fans can't be around. You know what I mean? It's very different, but we're living in very different times right now. So we just got to work. We got to work with what we have. But other than that, everything's been good. We've been getting some good workouts in the room. We have no choice but to work out in the room. Today was the first day it let us in the gym. So, everything is perfect. I'm close to weight. I think I only got like 3 or 4 pounds, you know what I mean? So those will get shredded off pretty easy. So, but, I'm just ready, man. I'm very excited.
Have you found the confinement to your room specifically the biggest challenge? Because I know sometimes you like to walk, not you only, but all fighters like to walk around and just, get some fresh air or whatever. Have you found that bothersome?
I'm the opposite type of fighter. I'd rather just stay and rest in my room as much as possible. So it's been, it's been good for me, especially since, you're a little bit more hungrier, cutting a little bit of weight. So, for me, it's actually worked out perfect. I'd rather just stay in my room all day. So, and I'm getting what I want. So it works both ways.
I know you want to think positively, obviously, David, but in some ways, will you breathe a sigh of relief when you get the test results back on not only your own, but from Angulo on Friday night or whenever that is?
Yeah, definitely. We just got back the test results that we did yesterday. We got them back this morning. We're good. So, everybody's being sanitized. I expect everything to run perfectly. You know what I mean? So we're just getting until Saturday. I don't think anything, anybody's going to get infected, from here to there. I mean, hopefully not, let's pray to God first, but I think everything's going to be, everything's going to run according to plan. And like I said, we're just waiting for Saturday.
Thanks, David.
That is accurate, Keith. All fighters have tested, all 6 fighters have tested negative here on site at Mohegan.
Thanks,
Yes, there are additional, obviously, protocols and tests, but at this point, everybody is negative. Thank you. Take another question. Marcos Villegas, Fight Hub TV. Marcos?
Hey, David. How's it going, man? It's Marcos.
Hey, what's up, bro? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, man? Hey, I'm really curious, and I've been curious with every fighter that's gone through this experience. How do you pass the time, man?
Playing games on my phone, just looking at some good spots I'm gonna go eat at after I'm done with this, after I'm done with this fight, and just, visualizing my game plan in the fight, watching some of Angulo's fights, just trying to put a game plan together, I'm just trying to go through the motions in my head, from round 1 to round 12, I was gonna look like, I'm very excited, man. It's almost about to be a year since I last fought. You know what I mean? So I'm just very eager to get back in there. But more importantly, I'm looking forward to for this to be a great fight. Angulo is a strong fighter. He's a strong puncher. You know what I mean? So I just want to get in there and give the fans a great fight. I feel like a lot of my fans have been waiting for me to get back. So the time is here. I'm ready to give the fans an amazing fight.
Hey, I gotta know, what game are you playing?
Tetris. I like playing Tetris. Yeah, I play online with my girlfriend. I win a lot.
Oh, his girlfriend.
Yeah. David, you're in a very good period of your life right now, man. You're about to have a baby. You look like you're settling down. You're world champion. How would you describe this time of your life right now?
I feel like it's a new chapter in my life. You know what I mean? Everything is amazing. I just bought a home. You know, I got a couple cars. You know what I mean? So I feel like this is, if you really dedicate yourself to something you love, you know, I just got, you know, I'm a world champion now, and everything is coming together, you know, emotionally, financially, and spiritually. You know what I mean? I'm here where I want to be at in my life, and it's just continue working hard and continue achieving the stuff that a lot of people didn't think I could achieve, and you know, just being the best version of myself I could be. You know, and in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks, I'm about to be a dad. So you know, I'm very excited for what the future holds for me. You know, I'm looking forward to working hard and, like I said, being the best version of myself I could be.
How much is that on your mind that you're gonna have a baby in 2-3 weeks?
It's on my mind a lot, you know what I mean? But you know, I gotta stay focused on this fight. I gotta take care of this fight. You know, I think Angulo deserves all my attention right now. You know, everything is looking pretty good at home. So you know, we just gotta take care of this first, and then get back home, and then
What about
relax with
Longhorn?
with
I don't want to spend a lot of money though.
Congratulations on that, David. I know it's going to be a beautiful thing for you. Berlanga did an interview, I want to say last week, and in it he mentioned that he sees you as a potential opponent in the future that would produce a huge fight. I'm curious. He has you on the radar already, as he should. You're a world champion, but have you by chance had him on the radar, and do you see him as a guy that's going to come up in the next few years and give you a real challenge in the future if you guys fight?
Yeah, I've watched him, you know, especially very impressive, especially since he has 14, or is it 15 now? 15 first round knockouts is very impressive. I feel like, you know, as a business point, that could be a huge fight. You know, he's Puerto Rican American, I'm Mexican American, you know what I mean? So it could be a very huge fight, you know. He's a great fighter. I'm a great fighter, so that just smells fireworks all night, you know what I mean? So definitely, you know, I'm all up for it. You know, I want to see him in there first, a little bit harder opposition, see how he does, you know, because the fighters he's been with, you know, hasn't really been really tough opposition. But, you know, not taking nothing from him, he's a great fighter.
Yeah, make sure you strap up, man. Don't have no kids until you're married,
there's a lot of people in super middleweight, a lot of fighters,
make sure she's not a crazy psychopath.
Like that dude, David Morrell, he's a great fighter too.
A narcissist.
The dude you just mentioned to me, you know, there's a lot of great fighters, a lot of great fights for me, to be made for me. You know what I mean? And I want to take all of them. You know, I want to be the reason I got into boxing is because I want to let everybody know I'm the best in my weight division. And, you know, like the time is emerging. I'm where I want to be at in life and in my career. So I just got to let everybody know why I'm here, why I'm the 2-time WBC super middleweight champion at 22. You know, I mean, this is my time and nobody's going to stop me.
But the biggest fight for you, in your opinion, is Canelo, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm still waiting for that. You know, out of everybody else got offers, but I never received an offer. You know what I mean? Callum Smith, Billy Joe Sanders, Caleb Plant, they all received the offers, but I didn't. You know what I mean? So I don't know what's going on with that. But, you know, I'm going to be ready for anything. If the opportunity comes, you know, next year, 2 years, 3 years from now, I'll be ready. You know, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to be ready for whenever. I have a lot of time is on my side. I'm about to be 24 this December. I'm still 23 right now, so time is on my side. I'll be ready for anything.
Thanks, David, and congratulations once again on the baby you're about to have, man.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
Okay, thanks, Marcos. We have just one last question from Andres Gomez. Andres, go ahead.
Good afternoon, David. Congratulations on the baby.
Thank you, bro.
So, champ, I mean, you pretty much touched a little bit on everything, but I'm curious, man, in the sense that these big unification matches can't get made due to the pandemic and everything, would you entertain the idea of moving up, or are you just locked in on being undisputed at super middleweight?
You know, first of all, you know, it would be very unfortunate if I have to fight, you know, like take a big fight with Caleb Plant, you know, without fans. But if that's what it has to be, that's what it has to be. I want it, but that's really the fight that makes sense to me more, you know, more than anything. First of all, first things first, I got to take care of my business on Saturday night. And I feel like, you know, that fight could be made probably next year. You know what I mean? I don't see why not. We both had the same promoters, you know. We've made it very clear that we want to fight each other. So, you know, we got to see what's going on there, you know what I mean? And we got to get the fans what they want to see. And, you know, I feel like that's a great fight for the sport and for our promotion company, PBC, you know what I mean? So Why not? But I don't feel like I'm gonna go up to 175 anytime soon. You know, I'm comfortable right here at 168, and this is where all my business is at, and I'm not gonna leave until I get all these fights done. You know, there's too much fights here at 168 for me to just go up to 175. It'll make no sense to me to go to 175. Not yet. I mean, maybe in the future, but not now.
Right. Now you already being a
Canelo
two-time
did it.
super
No, I'm
middleweight
just joking.
champion.
Just joking.
What kind of legacy do you want to leave? What do you want to be remembered for in this sport?
I feel like this is just the beginning. The two-time WBC champion is just the beginning. I want to be unified. One day I want to be unified. You know what I mean? Maybe in the next 2 years, if I get all these, you know, if we can make all these fights, I want to be unified and then go up to 175 and maybe be unified there. You know what I mean? That's the dream. That's the bigger picture right now. And I want to be, by the time I'm done, I want to be the best super middleweight, light heavyweight of my generation. By the time I'm retired, you know what I mean? Like I said, I got a lot of time on my side. You know, I'm a very hungry fighter, a very competitive fighter, and you know, from there's no really no, you know what I mean? The sky's the limit for me right now. You know, I've already accomplished a lot, but it really doesn't really feel like anything. You know what I mean? I don't know any other fighter that won 2 WBC titles at 22 now, or you know, a while ago. You know, so I mean, I feel like like I said, I've already accomplished a lot, but it to me doesn't feel like anything yet. You know, it's only a little milestone compared to what I want to get to in my career. So I still have a lot of work to do.
All right, John. I appreciate you sharing that with us, and I wish you the best for Saturday night.
All right, thank you, brother.
God bless.
David, appreciate your time. Obviously,
sweet,
a lot to
sweet
look forward to
nose
in your life
claims.
and in your career. And we wish you the best of luck. Saturday night, you will be challenged, and you will. We're excited to have you as the main event of our show on Saturday night. It begins live at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific, on Showtime. And thank you for your time.
All right, thank you for having me, guys. I appreciate it. Have a nice day.
Okay, quick message to the press still joining us. We will have an opportunity for you to download this entire Zoom session. Unfortunately, they're not edited into small segments, but you can download the entire session. Send me a note, please, or anyone from my PR team, and we will share that file with you as soon as it is available.
We already
Thanks
got the
for
file.
joining us, and please also reach out with any other questions beyond today, and we appreciate your time. Look forward to seeing you, and Friday's weigh-in will be streamed live on our YouTube channel, so watch out for that. Press alerts coming from my team shortly. Have a good day, everybody.
So yeah, I got a big day tomorrow. I have child custody hearing with just 24 hours notice, and you know the only outcome should be me getting full custody, but it's not likely going to go that way. I'm going to get my rights violated, but nonetheless, I'm going to record it. So when I got that email about 3 hours or so ago, I was like, what? Like, you know, it messed me up a little bit. So I'm going to go treat myself and get away from this computer. I've been putting out a lot of streams and a lot of content over the last, you know, few days. And I'm going to go treat myself and make sure I don't have a panic attack. And that's real shit. So I'm T Street Controversy with FightView360.com. We cover every single major fight live. I'll see you sometime tomorrow.